right, good. And where did you have them both done at the same time, or did they lag them? Oh, you never had both done. Oh, why the hell am I thinking? I don't know why I'm thinking, sure, you had two. Okay, so you had the right one done, and the right knee, you say, is too big. But you've never actually had anyone tell you it's malpractice, because that's exactly what Marco Bendinelli's going to say. You've never had anyone say anything to you directly, a doctor saying this is wrong. Okay, but you're wondering, should you even bother, because it was done in 2015 spring. It's now 2016, 2017, 2018, 3 years going on 4 years in the spring. So is it too late? Let's just address that first. Marco Bendinelli, what are the statutes or the statute of limitations when it comes to malpractice?
Good morning, Tom. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. What about that statute?
Well, you know, he has 2 years from the date that he reasonably knew or should have known.
Well, what does that mean, though, and how do you argue that, Marco?
Well, you know, once someone realizes there's a problem, and, you know, really I think that it would require a professional consult where maybe the second orthopedic surgeon wants to, you know, do a revision surgery to correct the problem. And so once he hears that, you know, the knees, listen, one size does not fit all.
Okay.
When it comes to these problems.
Now, hold on one sec. Jim,
okay.
When did you really discover, when did you? You had it done in spring of 2015. When did you look down and say, this is weird?
Right away, Tom.
Okay.
And
All right.
I confronted the doctor, Dr. Robertson.
So that right there starts the clock ticking, in my opinion. But
oh, yeah, okay.
I don't. No, that's me, Marco. Is that what you would say?
You know, I'm not sure. Not after
if the doctor has notes, if the doctor has notes that he came in a week later or called a week later complaining about it, couldn't he use that in his defense?
Who, the doctor? Well,
yeah.
Yes, he could, but he's the one that reassured him he was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, because from the get-go,
so then,
I told him before they put me under to make sure they had the right size knee to do this. Those are my exact words.
Well, why would anyone ever say that?
Because he's smaller, Tom, I believe.
I am, yeah. I'm not a very big guy, and I have skinny legs.
Okay.
So,
we call them bird legs.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. But.
Okay. So, Marco,
No,
I think, though, really, by any stretch of the imagination, what can you see where he can slip under a wire?
You know, potentially. I mean, when did he say he had these done?
In 2015 spring. We're coming up on, it's going to be 4 years.
Yeah. Well, you know, every case is different. Has he had a consult with anybody to do a revision surgery?
Yes.
Who?
When you're with Kaiser...
You got to go within Kaiser. When did that happen?
That happened last year. That was with Dr. Wiener, who was, for a while, going to go in there and try to do something with it. And
was his name Dr. Wienerman or Dr. Wiener?
Wienerman.
Okay, because he's a really good orthopedic surgeon, Wiener.
He is a real nice guy, but then at the very end, he decided not to do anything.
Okay, well... I mean...
Did he give you a reason?
But Wienerman's not with Kaiser, I don't think. Maybe, but there could be more than one. Anyway, what did he say?
The reason why they didn't want to go back in is because when they did it the first time, when they bored the hole down into my lower leg to hold that plate, he felt as though that hole was so large,
it would be hard to go smaller.
Yep.
Yep. So...
Well, you know what they do is they cut the femur and the tibia. So you know, they cut the femoral and tibial
and all of this doesn't matter to us right now, Marco. What matters is, do you think, based on the fact that even though he had a complaint, he was assured it was fine, and he
Yep.
didn't really get an inkling it was too big until last year. But, Jim, did the guy actually say it's too big?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
But
So
now remember, I only have about 80% motion with that leg. I can't bend it.
well, it could have happened even if you had a perfect knee. I don't know how knees
Yeah.
go. I mean, I don't know.
You know, that
Marco,
alone,
let's just
wouldn't indicate malpractice.
no, but let's do this very quickly. What's the very first thing you would do if you walked into your office right now? I mean, let's just talk about that.
I would send him to another specialist.
And then what?
Well,
How do you get around the statute of limitations?
I would say that, you know, the second opinion from that Dr. Wienerman, you know, maybe it begins to run there, depending on what the medical records say.
And then what do you do for losses at a guy 59?
Well, as you know, I mean, you have a cap, but does he have economic loss? You know, he's going to have some economic loss.
Sir?
Yes.
Do you have economic loss?
Yeah, I'm not mobile any longer. I can't climb ladders
All right.
and to go down.
So-
stairs is
Non-economic.
very
That's
difficult.
non-economic.
That's non-economic.
Okay. I don't know
I'm
what
talking
that
about
is then.
lost wages, the cost of the revision surgery, things like that.
So here's what you do. Rather than play this out here, he's really just got to come and talk to you. I mean, or call you, 1-800-ATTORNEY. That I don't know how the hell you got that number, but man, that is like
that was a good catch.
yeah, because it's national, right? No one could take it anywhere. 1-800.
Well, you know what? It's routed inside the state of Colorado, state lines.
Oh, really? That's amazing. I didn't know they can do that. So they can
They
sell 1-800
franchise
to somebody
by
else.
state. Yeah,
Wow.
they franchise that number by the state in which you're practicing.
Wow. Marco Bendinelli, attorney at law, and he does malpractice and other personal injury, 1-800-ATTORNEY. Thanks, Marco. So here's the bottom line, people. You know, each case is different, but what you need to do is you don't sit on your rights if you feel something's wrong. Don't do it. Now, Ron, what's going on with you, Ron?
3 times this morning I've received a call from someone claiming to be a Social Security officer.
Yeah, scam. What do they want?
And they just keep coming back and redialing.
Why? What do they want?
I need to call them back.
Okay, do you have a number to call back?
Sure. It's
Hold on.
812.
Yeah, but hold on. Give it to us off the air, and we'll try something, okay? 303-713-TALK. Remember, Social Security's never going to call you. Never. Now, the Raleigh House is for addiction treatment. The Raleigh House. Good people. Been around a long time in Colorado, multiple locations. But the number I'm going to give you is not to check in. I imagine if you did want to talk about that, they'll get you to the right person. But they started this as a community service to help people who have addicts in their lives because you don't know what's going on. First of all, how do you know they're an addict? You might suspect it. They'll tell you the telltale signs. And then how do you approach an addict? What is rehab all about anyway? Is that even a proper term? What is the treatment? What kinds of treatments are available at the Raleigh House and elsewhere? Yeah, they'll tell you about other treatments. Listen, they don't want to get the wrong fit. They'll tell you everything you need to know about treatment, about cost, about insurance. Everything they know, they will share with you. Just call them. It's confidential and it's free. 720-893-5559. All the information with no obligation. 720-893-5559. TheRaleighHouse.com.
This report is sponsored by Creighton University.
What do you think is going to happen with the Saudi deal?
Travel across Mile High City Freeway.
I don't know. See, I don't know what they can do.
No accidents, no
Right, that's exactly.
No kidding.
They would have to get the whole world on board to do something over one person. This happened. China and Russia do this all the time.
Every day, man.
Trouble free on the trip
Who's this
lights.
kid?
A minor blip of delay
Who's this kid?
eastbound 270 approaching Bass.
Why do I have
Nothing out of the
Kate?
ordinary there.
That's
25 in Aurora.
Centeno Schultz. Oh, that woman I got an email. Right.
Weather forecast could be sunny.
No, it's such a big deal. Didn't he work for the Washington Post? That's
Yeah. Right now, fair skies in Denver and 43.
And they brought in someone, they said, who was a professional bone cutter-upper.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I didn't read that.
I just heard that on one of the...
Geez, where do you find that guy on Craigslist? Wanted. Professional bone cutter-upper. Be a butcher.
Yeah, you're probably right. It probably was a butcher.
John Fuller has seen all kinds of cases on personal injury, and he can give you an honest.
That DNA report's definitely blown up.
The other side will always try to minimize your
On her.
The other side will always try to make you
Right? On Warren?
Oh, big time.
I mean, why would she even come out? She has less than 1%.
1,024th. They said the average American, like any of us, have more.
That's like calling the whole here, we're still all Indians. Because what he said that for that $1 million, he said, take a DNA test and prove that you're not an Indian. Well, she's not. I mean, holy cow. And she put it in several applications for...
Quote, I can go after horse face.
That's probably one of the better names he's done. I'm sure.
Oh, man.
But I just read a thing there that John Kerry's getting a little pissed because he was the original horse face.
Don't be taking my name.
Don't be taking my name.
That's my nickname.
That is the things you've always taught us.
This lady running as Arizona said, let me see here.
And above all, keep your
She didn't object to individuals going abroad and fighting the Islamic fundamentalist group.
or even replacement windows and doors.
Do you see the comments on that chair?
No, I haven't looked at it again.
Oh,
They said our video stopped. Did you check that?
it did. It just went blank.
Is it back on?
Yeah, it's back up.
303-722.
I don't see the chair.
800.
Is it on Facebook too?
You said Instagram, I thought.
It's on Facebook.
Oh, I
On our
thought you said...
Facebook.
Maybe I gotta refresh or something.
Hi, this is Ed Green. Many people dream of a secure
And so you should have said, and that's a good one.
save for retirement. It doesn't have to be just a dream.
And this is Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your
You
Retirement.
said the airport's got some...
Why did you send me a link to Patrick's chocolate cake for dinner?
Sounds like the worst. I saw that book too. It sounds like this. It sounds crazy.
Oh, Patrick's follow-up from 4 years? No, this isn't...
Because Line 4 called you 4 years ago to write a poetry book. You gave him advice, and he got his book published. He wanted to tell you about it.
Believe it. That's wonderful.
Can you read some of it?
Go for it.
So call today for a complimentary
Paragon is our...
visit with Linda Gardner and learn how a customized retirement plan can help you retire successfully. Call now 720-488-8604. 720-488-8604 or go to yourmoneyyourretirement.com.
There's the chair.
That's yourmoneyyourretirement.com.
This flu season, one Walgreens flu shot can make a world of difference. So you can protect yourself and also...
Then they ate the armrest and picked it apart. God, that chair is something else.
2-month-old niece.
Oh, the Bugman wants that.
I filled it out.
Okay.
2010.
Bugman.
Stop by for your
Love
shot
Bugman.
with a $0 copay with most insurance. Because protecting the world starts with protecting yours. Walgreens.
Remember that time Tim thought I was bringing, or we were bringing chairs up? Like that. It's like, why the hell would we carry a chair up? I think over the weekend, these weekend warriors drag them in. I don't know what else they'd be doing in here. There is no reason in the world that chair should even be in the
That one's
building.
been in here before.
That one?
Yeah.
Go smell it.
You think the airport is dirty?
Bright Light Chiropractic is a place to go for. That would be a wonderful way to introduce yourself to chiropractic because Dr. Mike Hederscheit does gentle, targeted adjustments. A full evaluation is only $50, seriously, and then with the first adjustment it's all $75, and that includes digital X-rays, which are very low radiation, and thermal scans and consultations. University and County Line, brightenyourfamily.com. I don't think you'll find a nicer guy, and he is a very good chiropractor. What I love about him is he's a chiropractor. And so many chiropractors are getting out of chiropractic. They're trying to do other things. You just want an adjustment. You want help, and they just try to get you to do other stuff. Not him. brightenyourfamily.com, a chiropractor's chiropractor. 583-4506, BrightenYourFamily.com. So, speaking of germs at the airport, the second dirtiest place other than luggage bins, the seatbelt buckles. Seatbelt buckles.
You know, I sat next to a guy one time. He was so big, they had to hand that one where they show you how to do it. The stewardess shows you how to do it, and connect it as an extension just to use the seatbelt.
Because he was so big.
He was huge.
Middle seat?
Oh, man.
No, I had the end seat, thank God. He had the middle seat.
Now, I've heard now they do charge people for extra seat if they take over. They do.
No, I know they do.
Yvonne? What's going on, Yvonne?
Well, those hand wipes are going to come in handy for the aircraft. So tray tables, you should see some of the things that people do with those tray tables. When a person gets up out of their seat, it has like a wafting residue. Yeah. So, you know, spray is nice and, you know, convenient, but if you're spraying the headrest or the top of the seat where your head's going to be, you don't want to accidentally spray somebody in the eyeball.
Yeah, I get
you know, how about like norovirus, though? That's airborne.
Yes.
You're on a cruise ship, they got it, you're washing your hands, you're doing everything right, and man, you just breathe it in and boom, you got it.
You know, there was a big scare about cruise ships before, but they've done a pretty good job of keeping things pretty clean. I mean, they're trying. Hand sanitizers are all over in those things. Jackie, let's talk about your HOA. Hello, Jackie. What's happening?
Hi.
What's going on?
Well, my son and his fiancée had bought a place in this condo in February of 2008.
And this is your son?
I'm calling for my son. He drives for a living, so he can't answer the phone or be on the phone.
He bought a condo, and did he buy it alone or with someone?
He bought it with his fiancée.
Okay. And what happened?
They got a bill in April or May of 2018 for a special assessment fee.
Oh, yeah.
They had no idea what it was for.
They didn't say what it was for? They just said special assessment?
That's all the letter said.
How much is it?
Assessment. $2,500.
Okay. Now, there are some policies, insurance policies, that cover special assessments, but they have to be certain special assessments, like for damages and stuff, not for parking lots and sewer and water districts like that, depending on the contract. So you understand special assessments, if they are truly special assessments needed, everybody pays them. What is your issue with this special assessment?
Well, they got a hold of their HOA community or board members, and what it is for is the hail damage that was caused on May 8th, 2017.
Before he owned it.
Before he owned it.
It doesn't matter. It goes per unit. It goes. Now, hold on though. I shouldn't say it doesn't matter. Sometimes they're assessed back then, and the owner at the time did not tell him. That could be a non-disclosure issue, and you could argue that that should have been paid by her or him before they sold it. But if it was not assessed then, it goes against who is the owner at the time, no matter what.
And that beef would be with the previous owner. I don't see any beef with the HOA.
Suzanne, what are you saying?
It was with the previous owner was assessed before the condo was sold, correct, Jackie? That's what I see in your email.
Wait a minute. Yeah. So that previous owner hid that fact from your son.
Yeah, he didn't disclose it.
Yes. She lied on the closing documents.
Okay.
There was no
you know what it sounds like to me? Like it sounds like your son. Now your son, no matter what, this is assessed against the unit, but for your purposes, she should have paid it. In other words, if there are any outstanding assessments, she should have answered that or disclosed it. You have a case against her and the listing against the listing
I'd like
agent.
to see that disclosure statement. What if they put, I don't know, and she simply says, I didn't see the notice?
What does she say about assessments and that kind of stuff?
On the closing documents, it just asks if there's any assessments pending, and she checked no.
she checked no.
Tom,
Suzanne?
so what this says, it might be a technicality. In your email, it says the HOA company sent letters to owners in November of 2017 stating there will be a special assessment, not that it was assessed yet, that there would be assessments.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'd like to have Frank look at that disclosure.
That's weird, though, because listen carefully. If it was technically not assessed, the question is, should she at least have advised you guys, or should you guys have checked with the HOA or the management company? Whose responsibility is it? Now, if she knows there's an assessment, she should mention it. But she could say, hey, they said there may be an assessment, but we have no idea. You see, and then you got insurance. Does your son have insurance?
He does, and he called them also, and because they live in the garden level, the roof doesn't directly affect them because they have people above them.
I understand that, but usually says special assessment coverage, it doesn't matter. So that could be some agent lying.
No, I think what she's saying is they just got normal interior insurance for the condo.
No, but did they get special assessment coverage? Jackie?
Yes.
Do they have special assessment coverage?
I don't know.
Okay, that's what you need. Hold on. Compass Insurance Group can help you figure that out. I'm serious. You have to figure that out. That might be in there, which would mean if any assessment is made. Now they can make the argument the damage happened before we insured the unit, and they may have a good case. But here's the deal. I'm not sure if you have a case against the previous owner or not. You may or may not. But one thing is for sure, your son owes the money. Okay, that's for sure. So he should not get penalties. He should pay it, in my opinion. That's not a legal opinion. That's what I would do. I would pay it. Then what I would do is I would sue the previous owner in small claims court and let the judge figure it out. You're lucky that it's only $2,500, so you can do it in small claims court. And your argument is simply this. She never advised us of any pending assessments, because you said the disclosure doesn't just say assessments, it says pending, right?
Yes, it said there's.
Then I think that's what I would do. That's it. That's what I would do. I would pay it, stop the clock, pay it. I would then go back and sue the previous owner and let the judge figure it out.
I would say if it wasn't assessed, you just made me think on something. If it wasn't assessed and she did have special assessment insurance, even if the damage happened before she bought the insurance, if the assessment happened after, I would say they would pay it.
No, I don't
because it's the assessment, not the damage.
I know that, except they're written for assessments on damage, meaning that if it was an assessment for a sewer or water district or something, I think they put a lot of emphasis on the cause of the assessment. And when that happened, that's just my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I really don't know how it would be written. But it seems to me insurance companies, if anything, are more exclusive than inclusive. So, but still check on special assessment insurance. And let's ask Compass. You know what? There are so many condo owners.
I'd like to know that.
Yeah, let's call them. Let's not just leave this hanging. Let's call just as a matter of general information on most of the special assessment coverage they've seen, and we'll present them with different scenarios. Patrick has a follow-up from 4 years ago, and Patrick, what is happening?
Well, I called you 4 years ago. I wanted to make a poetry book, and you gave me this really good advice, and I wanted to call and tell you, Tom, thank you. I took it, and the book is out.
Really? And how long has it been out?
It's been out since June.
And the book, the name of the book, how did you come up with this weird name?
Okay, well, 2 years ago, it's called Patrick's Chocolate Cake for Dinner Diet. And 2 years ago, I lost 70 pounds.
Yes.
And a couple of nights before I went to boot camp the next morning, I had chocolate cake for dinner. And the next morning when I went to boot camp, it about killed me. And so that's where I came up with the idea of Patrick's Chocolate Cake for Dinner Diet. It's sort of a metaphor about me.
Hey, listen, is the book selling at all yet?
It's brisk sales.
Really? You're doing? Wait, I am shocked that poetry books are selling, and especially from someone unknown who did this. Did you have a publisher or do it yourself?
Well, I actually have an editor who owns an art studio here in Greeley who saw my writing, and she really believed.
What the heck?
And the book's only $2.99.
No, a Greeley poet. Who would know it? Okay, hold on a sec. We're going to come back. I want to read a little excerpt from your book and tell people they can find it. It's called Patrick's Chocolate Cake for Dinner Diet.
I want to know what he means by boot camp, because the picture on the book, he looks too old to be in boot camp 2 years ago.
Well, hang on, all right, Patrick, and we'll give you a little plug on that and do some more. Hey, speaking of plugs, this one doesn't have to be plugged too much. In fact, Mark, I need to know if you can call Mark sometime and ask him how this is going. Mark Machowski over at Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair decided to go beyond his normal. This is unbelievable. You got to hear this if you have a transmission that you think might be acting up. He's going beyond his normal 1 hour free diagnostics. With the 1 hour free diagnostics, they look around, they put it on machines and all that, but they don't open anything up. They're not going to open up a carburetor or an engine. But listen to what they do for now transmission problems with this special. They will tear apart the transmission free of charge. Free. You don't pay for it. If you decide to have the work done, transmission teardown is free. If you decide to take it somewhere else to be fixed, they put the parts neatly in a box. You take the car somewhere else to be fixed. If you decide to junk the car, they'll do the same. If you decide for some strange reason that you want it put back together, now remember, they're only going to do this for people who have a true problem and might get it fixed, but there's no obligation to get it fixed. So if you decide you want to put back together, they negotiate that price with you, a very reduced rate, to put it back together. And they do that before they begin. So you just ask them, okay, if all else goes and I just want to put back together, what will it cost? But otherwise, the teardown is free. I don't think you can beat that. I love the idea. It really takes a lot of the guesswork out of transmissions. So call them. They're on South Santa Fe, just south of Dartmouth. It's Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair, 303-781-9858, 781-9858.
Say it is genius. It is the teardown of this transmission. Don't you think that's
as long as people don't?
But why would they have it torn apart if they're not going to fix it, right?
You're right. Or it says, okay, I'm going to.
I mean, you get a pretty good indication to say, look, what would make you not fix this, right?
Right. No, I agree. I agree with that.
Too. I know Ron and Jack Larson personally, and I know their licensed team of experts will negotiate the best possible settlement for you. Don't go through it alone, and definitely don't put it off. Make this year the year to put all those problems behind you. Larson Tax Relief won't hurt you, but they will.
What's up, horseface?
Call 844 Larson Tax.
See, I know you'd rather not have a president that does that, right?
No. You just got to take him with a grain of salt. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he's a kind of a, like I say, like I say.
Yeah, but some people say, oh, that's not how the United States president should be. I just disagree with that.
Well, like I said.
I bet Washington wasn't very fucking stately.
But see, they didn't get that all over the place. And so they didn't have, or did they have tweeting back then?
They had hovercrafts. Tweets.
Like I say, when Ali came out, people hated Ali because of all the stuff he said.
It's like a pimp.
Right. Exactly.
And do not have a history of heart disease. If this sounds like you or someone you
know, horseface.
720-848-6376.
But like I said, I say he says stuff to the face that everybody else is saying, you know, about the people.
Are you getting our emails? Does Thursday work for this man's birthday lunch?
It's going to be late.
Well, that's why I tried to ask you that. Do you mind doing a late lunch so we don't have to break his golden rule? 10 p.m., midnight.
That's why if it's late, it would be better for Friday. You guys like to take off too.
Yeah.
We might go camping though. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only reason I wanted to.
No, Lade, I love Lade.
I might go up to Breck. You got a line going.
Oh, shoot.
Right? Otherwise, I'm paying for the onion, but I'm not
Isn't it kind of cold to go up there to Breck?
I love Breck.
Really? What do you do up there? Just walk around? Or what?
Hot tub, swimming pool.
Well, where do you go? You're in your RV.
It's an RV park that has everything.
Gotcha. So you're in a hot tub with all the other people?
No, you got 2 hot tubs at Tiger Run. There's no riff, dude. If you don't listen, I'm not kidding. They make you say exactly what kind of RV you have. If it's older than a few years, they don't let you in. I'm telling you, there is no riff.
That's true. That's true. Some of these they have
there
covenants.
Is no riff raff.
They have covenants.
All.
Which one? Are you talking about outdoor resorts?
I'm talking Tiger Run specifically right now. I've seen them. The first time I went up
They'll
there,
turn you down.
This guy was so pissed. He comes out, and his unit wasn't that old. It was like maybe a 2000 and something. They're like, nope, we don't want your kind.
Are you saying that just because you got a nice RV, you're not being in the hot tub?
Oh,
I don't
man.
think so.
No.
Getting in the hot tub, I think those hot tubs are the worst. They're worse than the airport.
No, if they put enough chlorine in there, it kills anything.
Truly,
well, you can.
I got pee is not.
Pee's that you can drink your own pee.
No, pee. No.
Seriously, pee is
does
sanitary.
not carry germs.
Zero.
I'll say you gave me a bad time about sitting in that.
Yeah, because people crap in there.
Now, here's the thing, though. If you have feces on dingleberries and you're not good at clean, there are a lot of dirty sons of bitches.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, in the gym, if you watch guys in the gym, why do men feel like if it grows, I gotta leave it? I mean, why don't? Yeah, just like an animal, they can't groom themselves.
I saw a booger on a mirror one time, man. It put me.
I mean, you're allowed to trim yourself here and there. I mean, my God in heaven, it's like Osama bin Laden down there. I mean, it's like God Almighty, the germs.
I'll manscape like maybe once a year.
You've got to.
You do a Brazilian?
I do a landing strip.
I just think that cleanliness. Just cleanliness. It has nothing to do with anything but cleanliness. Just.
Do you ever shave your chest?
No, I got too much. I mean,
it would grow back like a damn.
I don't believe. Do you believe that's true? That hair.
Oh
back
hell yeah, I do.
Are you sure? Though?
The more I shave, even right here, the quicker it grows.
Yeah, but
it's insane.
I was told that, but I'm not sure that's true.
Well, there's one way to tell. Get some duct tape.
But I don't like too much hair. I don't, and unfortunately,
Jerry.
Robert Kramer says, "Look at me."
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Century RV will save you money. CenturyRV.com. They're up north at 119 to Longmont, that I-25 and the 119 exit, Highway 119. They have a service department up there. They're also out west, just north of 6th Avenue, between Kipling and Sims, next to Woodley's. It's called CenturyRV.com. They have an indoor showroom in Lakewood there. And then up north, they have that indoor, of course, service facility. And then they have new and used at the best prices in the country for some brands. Go see them. Hey, listen, if you're going to be shopping for something that big, go see them. Winter is the best deals to get RVs. And that's CenturyRV.com, 303-453-1111. Welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino. And seriously, we really try to help people, and we do in many cases. And this thing, I don't like this thing about this special assessment. And however, the seller might use the argument, well, I didn't know it was really going to be one. They were just talking about it. But I want to ask Jeremy over at Compass Insurance. We call our insurance experts over there, and we ask for someone smart, but we got Jeremy. And we're gonna talk to Jeremy about. Ouch! I'm just kidding. He knows it. Jeremy, I want to talk to you about special assessment coverage. Seriously,
sure.
Now, what does it cover?
So it's going to cover if there is a loss, and most of the time it's a shared deductible at this point. But if the HOA assesses each unit owner money for damage,
but not for a parking lot, not to do a new parking lot.
Right, it has to be damage caused by a covered peril on the policy. So
yeah,
if they want a new parking lot, playground, it's not for that. It's mostly for hail.
Okay. Now, let's say then it's a covered loss and there's an assessment. Now, What if you bought your unit and 2 or 3 months later, even 6 months later, you get a special assessment? But technically, the damage happened before you owned it. Do they go by the damage date or the assessment date?
And we've had this issue more than once because it's not universal. I've dealt with it just in general. It's not universal. Some companies go off the assessment date. Some companies go off the date of loss.
See, Mark,
and so
it's both ways.
So you can.
It's all in the policy.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you bought the home and then after you were assessed, well, if you have a company that goes off the assessment date,
yeah, of course.
Fine.
What's typical?
Is there a typical?
It's pretty 50-50. I mean,
all right, Jeremy, another question then. If you get condo coverage, is it likely you're going to have that assessment coverage or not? Is it like almost an automatic thing nowadays?
These days it is, yeah.
Really? That's good news. Hold on. And it might go by carrier. Jackie, do you know who your son's carrier is?
Insurance carrier?
Yeah.
Geico.
What do you think if it's Geico, Jeremy?
It's not a standard coverage, so it does need to be added. So it's hard to say,
but if you would more likely have it added if you had an agent looking out for you. And Geico doesn't work with an agent, do they, or not?
Typically, no. No, they're direct.
So it's unlikely if you go for a condo coverage there at Geico, they're going to say, hey, let's throw in this assessment coverage.
Right. I mean, it could happen, but less likely. Usually they're more, you have to tell them what you want, and people aren't going to know to ask to add that coverage.
All right. You summed it up. But no matter what, I think we've learned something here. Jackie, check for special assessment coverage and get back to us if you need help. 303-713-TALK. Patrick, we were talking with. He said 4 years ago, I gave him some good advice. He wanted to publish a poetry book. But I know in my heart, Patrick, I know in my heart that if you called 4 years ago about a poetry book, I probably did say good luck on selling a poetry book, didn't I?
You did, but it turns out that it's doing really well.
I am so happy for you. I mean, first of all, poetry is so intimate and so personal, and I often wonder, why does somebody buy poetry? Now, I love poetry or poetic lyrics. I love it. But very few people do. But I am so happy to hear that this dang thing is selling good or selling well. It's great.
Is. And we're working on the next one, too. Next October, the best 100, so to speak, is going to come out.
Were you in the military, Mark wanted to know?
I was in the Army.
How many years ago?
I thought you said you went to boot camp a couple of years ago.
Well, boot camp, no. It's the class that I did at Workout West in Greeley for an hour, and then I walked for an hour.
Oh, okay. Hey, listen.
Every day.
Listen, you are kind of impressing me here. What is one of your favorite poems?
They're all a favorite of mine, Tom.
Do you like Try Fly?
Do you want me to try one right now?
No, Try Fly. Can I read that one?
Sure, absolutely.
Do not sit idly by and let your brain fry. Give living a try and go ahead and soar high. Fly like a bird in the sky. Start living and loving and get your piece of the pie. So go ahead and live. You are special and beautiful. You have a lot to give. Believe in yourself and what you do. Try and be happy and never blue. Here is a last-second tip. Try to be cool and hip and live life with some pip. Because when you are living life cool, life is a trip. Hey, man, that is a very nice one. Now, I will say this. That is not personal. That is something, that is like encouragement for others. So is that the kind of genre you do, or does that just happen to be one I picked out? Do you write personal, or do you write mainly for others?
I'm a stream of consciousness poet. It comes into my head, and then I have to stop what I'm doing and put it on paper.
This is fun.
And
wow.
If you go on my Facebook page, you'll see hundreds and hundreds of poems exactly like that.
Why don't you come in one? You know, you ought to read these and do little Instagram videos.
It would be my pleasure to come in if you'd like.
Yeah,
me to
I want you to come in as a guest, and I want you to bring a book and autograph it for me. Do you have any printed books, or are they all on Audible and Kindle?
Elaine is working on getting the paperback book done, and then we're going to go that route too and have another thing to sell. But she's my editor, by the way. She owns the beautiful art studio here in Greeley.
Now,
and
okay, here's another one. Love's trip is a hipped-up journey. Love is a fly, getting high, feeling good inside. Love is a smile, show a little style. Love is a cool connection with an objection. Love is a good seek. If you meet up with love, don't freak. Love fills an empty heart with light. Love can't be wrong. It has to be right. Love makes you grin, and love isn't a sin. If you loved instead of hate, you always win. Love is unique and sometimes undervalued. Love is sweet, a tasty treat, an amazing feat. When you do have love, don't cheat.
I like this one. It says, I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am.
Is that for real? Or are you making that?
That's really deep.
I mean, what I mean is, is that the true Dr. Seuss, or did you add to that?
No, that's Dr. Seuss.
Okay. What I meant was I thought you were saying he did a play on Dr. Seuss, but okay. Anyway, we have more coming up. 303-713-8255. Your car nanny is Pro Auto Care. If you need car repairs, your car nanny. Now, you hear me talk about the different hallmarks of our shops. The one I love about Pro Auto Care and how Al Aramis does this is you are part of his family when you become a customer. So he keeps track of all your maintenance like he would a son or daughter. They give you reminders based on your VIN number, what needs to be done, when it needs to be done. It's a cool idea. Then they do something else that I really love, and that is they do free roadside assistance for 36,000 miles. So that's basically in between all of your services. I mean, you become part of that family. I have personally benefited from it and used it. You almost don't remember you have it. It's so cool. And you just call 303-PRO-AUTO, and you'll become part of this family. 303proauto.com.
This report is pretty cool, though. I mean, it's a good read. He doesn't follow any of the rules of stanzas like a haiku. He doesn't follow a haiku. I didn't hear rules followed. Did you in that read?
No, but he sounds like more of a stream of consciousness.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Would you like them in a house? Would you like them with a mouse?
When you started reading it, I thought you were saying he.
I was trying to hold it together. I was just trying to put up my poetry versus
How do you beat the doctor?
You don't.
Who is Centeno Schultz? Is it Hiram?
It's Hiram and
it is Hiram.
Yeah, but really the brains is that woman Caitlin.
You know, I know.
The brains of.
Do you want to be copied on this?
What is it?
I want to tell them they're not available.
Yeah.
Oh, I looked this up. They had the smartest dogs. Doberman is like number 5.
Yeah, they're up there. They were bred smart, though.
Wait, number 5 is Doberman?
Yeah.
Intelligence? Yeah. Number 1 is Border Collie. Number 2 is Standard Poodle. Number 3 is Collie, right?
I know Border Collie is number 1.
Number 1.
And you said Husky was like the dumbest? No, they're like number 45.
45?
No, they had 40. No, but they had like 100 dogs.
Busy Vaughn lady
So they're in
keeps
the
calling
top
the
half.
show. She just wants to comment. Then she finally mentions you and her dad don't get along. So she calls 3 times today. Finally, I said, by the way, who is your dad?
Who is it?
Klaus, Rocky Mountain Coin, Klaus.
I love him.
We like Klaus. We don't like her.
I love him. No.
Said he and my dad had differences because they wanted to raise the price so much.
We have no differences at all.
No.
That's what she said.
Well, good. Let her call. Is she still on?
No, she'll call me again.
I love her.
You want to talk to her again?
Yeah.
Are you a call?
No, she wanted to. No. She only wanted to pay like $12.
Was
it her?
She goes, yeah.
It was her, not Klaus.
She goes, he didn't. Oh my God.
I love him. He's honest. We need to get them back on. They are really honest and good. Klaus and Damien over there, they're all good people. Wasn't it Damien? Is that his name? Was Klaus? He was.
I'll pull up the emails from her. You'll think different. Dusty says, I thought the station was doing better than this. You'd be shocked. That's the good chair. You should see the one Tom sits in. It's still wet.
How do they? I suppose if somebody put a coffee cup probably on.
First of all, like that one there. I bet that chair was built in the 70s.
I know, but it's not bad. It's a nice chair.
It's because it's darker. You can't see the stains. Put your nose in there. Bury that nose up in that chair.
You're right.
It is horrible. That chair is great.
It was stuck here. I didn't think you'd notice, Mark.
Oh, how can you miss that chair? That's like a whole new level of bad chairs. I'm used to bad chairs, but I'm not used to that. God, look at those stains.
Every chair was stained here before. Remember, there was like
fabricates beautiful countertops and supplies cabinets direct from the manufacturer. They are a direct importer of granite, quartz, and other natural stone. You can buy with free quitters where he'll go get it. You never have to go to a granite, and he'll send you the wholesale price.
Ted Cruz is killing that guy.
He uses his contractor price and then he fabricates it for you.
Ted Cruz is smart.
It's like 8 or 10 points ahead, isn't he?
I don't know, but they're throwing a lot of money. I tell you, that's where really the Democrats, they got a lot of money.
Trump's already raised $100 million for 2000.
Hillary spent well over $1 billion
on purses.
But Trump had Twitter.
Why people don't think it's going to be much different than it was last time, where everybody thought Hillary was going to win, and who came in and stuff.
No, I knew Trump would had it bagged from the beginning. I'll never forget that text I sent them. Looks like a landslide.
The timing was great, too, an hour later.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Buyandbuild.net, 4800 Washington Street. You will make, you will make such a stink when you go there. You're going to be astounded at the prices, especially the two biggest categories, light fixtures and plumbing fixtures. But they have tile and hardwood and laminates, and they have slab granite, and they have cabinets. Beautiful stuff. I just happen to see these fixtures and go crazy. And then the cabinets are 10 times cheaper than the big boxes. Buyandbuild.net. Courtney Pierce is the owner. I love the way he does business. He has a big, giant, ugly warehouse, as I say. And, you know, plenty of parking, 4800 Washington Street. You'll love it. You just will. You're going to save money. Send your contractor there, your handyman there. Go yourself. It's not just for do-it-yourselfers. If you're a contractor, you want to check him out. It's below wholesale. Buyandbuild.net. Okay, let's keep going here. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We have a lot to talk about here. And again, I wanted to just tell Patrick, we're going to plug his book, and we want him to come in. But it's really fun having him, and we will plug that book. Right now, it's on Kindle, and it's on, I believe you can get it through Amazon. But when he comes in, he can also email us information, and we will definitely send out the call for people to get that book. Bob has a problem with King Soopers. Bob, what's going on with you, Bob?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
What's happening? You have a problem with King Super. What kind of problem do you have with this?
No, it's not with King Super.
Oh.
It's a parking lot that this management company managed.
Oh.
There's a auto repair place in this same area.
I'm sorry. I got it all wrong, brother. So the problem is with who is the problem with, Bob?
It's confusing. It's with the management company that
and
is managing that property.
Do you lease that property or anywhere?
I don't know. There's an automobile repair place there.
Yeah.
And I brought my vehicle there to get fixed because I had to change out the computer and I needed them to program it.
Okay, hold on, because we're going to run out of time. Hold on. Bright light.
Tell them we'll continue. Finally, a chiropractor that loves doing chiropractic.
Okay, what do you think Walmart would save? They're converting all their lights in their parking lots and interior to LED. How much do you think they'll save annually just that move?
One store? Or
No, all as a corporation. Annually.
It's a billion.
What's wrong with him?
There's a lot of stores, I mean, all their
I'll tell you this, he ain't that, he's not that fucking far off.
Oh, come on. What's their
200 million.
Oh, come on.
Annually, just on LED now.
They will save.
And then this is even crazier.
What is the cost to do it, the conversion?
They don't put that. They're just
I wonder how many years payback it is.
Here's the other
Plus,
thing.
will they get the government subsidies?
They're switching floor waxes in every store. Floor wax.
So people can walk faster?
The new floor wax, they'll have to do half as much. 20 million a year, they say.
What do you mean? They'll only have to wax them half as often?
Half as often. Which you've got electric, or I think those aren't electric. They're aren't they usually propane? What drives those little things?
You talking the buffers?
Yeah, but they drive them. The little ones they drive.
No, they wouldn't.
They usually have gas things on them.
Oh, it would be propane then.
Those Zambonis cost a lot to run through Walmart.
That's what Zambonis use. So this is what Miles will be doing then?
No, that was CNBC. I was saying, why is Walmart up so much today?
The LEDs should change. I mean, there's not a place that should not have LEDs. I'm just using up my...
Actually, I got that wrong. You ready for this? This is even better than I thought. Walmart says switching to LED lights in its parking lots will save them $200 million annually. Just the parking lots.
So $1 billion for the inside store.
You might have been close. Although they're really smart. If you go into a Walmart, it's mostly skylight. It's mostly natural lights.
What?
Yeah. Look at a newly made Walmart.
One Walmart over here is not like that. There's no skylights and stuff.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
Well,
Oh, by Sam's Club across the street?
No.
Behind the old Toys R Us?
Right.
Right. I don't know. I haven't been in that one for...
No, LEDs.
Like the one in Castle Rock. Just because of the road above it that I'm on sometimes, you look down, there's got to be... Oh, man. I mean, there's a skylight every 5-10 feet.
No, there's a fluorescent. Terrible lighting. And LEDs, they can do different things with.
Well, you have the ballast, you have the lights go out quicker,
right?
And then you have the electricity usage. They're horrible. They're dinosaurs.
And getting rid of the mercury in the bulbs.
Yeah, but that's fun when you break them.
LEDs, seriously, that. You said it was by accident? I thought LED was on like computers and stuff. How did, Tom, you said LEDs was invented by accident?
Yeah. You mean just one little LED is what he said.
No.
Originally, way back when.
Okay. The technology itself, they were working on diodes, and then they noticed it was light emitting. It was emitting light. And they said, wow, that's pretty bright for the small amount of current. So then they started experimenting, putting them together, and that's really how it was born. They were not looking for a source of lighting.
You know how fiber optics work?
Yeah.
So imagine instead of, well, they're doing it right now, so you don't really have to imagine it. Instead of one color light in the fiber sending the signal, you have multicolors. So you have this palette of colors.
Oh, instead of just on-off.
And each one sending the same amount as the original fiber optics did with one light. It's crazy.
Say that again. If they're saying, I thought you were saying they're going to make up photos or pictures with it or images.
No. I'm saying sending data, purely data from here to here. Right now on fiber, most fiber in the ground right now is one color. Got it?
Yeah, but what difference does color make?
You run 10 colors. So the 10 different colors are actually transferring 10 times the data to one color.
Why? Does color take up a different wavelength in that fiber optic?
Yep. That's exactly what it does. They've got ones now that do 2 or 3.
You know where they got that?
But they already have different fiber, different streams of information in one fiber, right? Already without colors or not? I thought they had some that vibrate that flash at different frequencies and they can carry more than one.
Well, that would be the same thing. So it'd be a different frequency or a different color.
I can't imagine where technology is going.
It's got to get more wireless. You got to be able to get that fiber signal everywhere.
There's just so much the air can carry. Unless you start doing chain reactions with atoms. I mean, and whereas, now listen carefully, I'm not talking about transmission, I'm talking about chain reaction.
Well, it's like a bomb, a nuclear bomb.
An invisible chain reaction, but instead of fission or fusion, instead of that, it's simply passing on information
boom, boom, boom,
from
boom,
one
boom.
electron to another. Now,
buckyballs.
I'm not talking about a flow of electrons like in a wire, an electrical wire.
No, he's talking a transfer of information.
Electricity is transferred by electrons.
No, it's flows. It's not transferred. Electricity is not transferred. It's not transferred. It's flowing. You know damn well what I'm talking about. It doesn't get.
It doesn't go one to the other to the other to the other. It's a stream.
It's a stream.
Right.
Like
that guy. You're saying just one bounces one.
Yeah, I'm talking about like they do in an explosion. Instead of an explosion, it's an explosion of information. I don't know, crazy, huh?
No, imagine like what he's saying is you're passing it on to each one, but then the one right before it is freed up to do another.
I don't even know if it's technically possible.
Like the game telephone?
Yeah.
Where you put a can up to your leg?
No, where you tell me something.
Oh, and by the time it gets to the last kid in school, they don't even know what the hell it started.
Well, you know the color of that game from. Kramer. Remember when he was doing it in Hollywood?
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. If you are looking for stem cell therapy, Centeno Schultz, they have regular seminars that they put on for the community, and they have them either in Broomfield, their main office, or they have a Lone Tree location. So this is a consumer show, and these are part of the things we talk about on how to get information. And if ever you have feedback, I want to hear it. When it comes to stem cells, it's unfortunate because there's more misinformation than correct information. Tomorrow night in Lone Tree, at the Lone Tree Clinic of Centeno Schultz, they're going to have a seminar. If you're looking for relief from pain, there is a possibility that stem cell therapy can help you. But even if it's not stem cell, there are other therapies available for pain, inflammation, for problems, okay? Before surgery, way before surgery. So Centeno Schultz would love to answer your questions. You can get an evaluation directly or go to one of their seminars. Here's the number for all of that, 303-963-9201. 963-9201. Centeno Schultz. Look for him on my referral list at referralist.com. Bob says he has a problem with the management company, which leases out at King Soopers Plaza. I'm not sure what's going on, but he took his car to a repair facility there, and I'm still trying to figure out how do we get to that management company. So your car is at a repair facility. Take it from there, Bob.
Yeah, I brought it over there, and I had to go get a part, grab a computer for it, and I was going to have them program it. Well, I couldn't get it that day, so it sat one night, and I went the next morning, and the vehicle was gone.
Well, what's the rules? I mean, what did the shop tell you about leaving your car?
Well, the shop, they told me they saw the car a couple weeks before.
But where do they keep, where does this shop normally keep cars they're working on?
They didn't park the car. They didn't even know the car was there.
Okay, but I'm asking, where do they normally keep them?
Oh, right beside their shop.
Okay,
what's the name of the shop?
Is there a special area where they keep cars?
No, they just park on the side of in the parking lot right there.
Okay,
and I was
where they park. This is what I need to know, Bob. Where they park cars normally. Would shoppers at King Soopers normally park there too, or not?
Yeah.
They would. So it's not demarked. It's not a demarcation of any kind.
Store.
I want to get a Google view of it.
We're just talking over each other.
There's a flower store. There's a bunch of stores. There's a pawn shop. There's it's not just the King Soopers. There's like a
I get it.
Also right there.
I get it. But Bob, normally a repair facility isn't in a plaza like that. So explain that.
They're separate from it, but they are it's still the parking lot where they park their cars and everything.
Now Mark wants to get a view, and I can see why. That's logical. Where would we look it up?
Chambers and Colfax. Chambers and Colfax, the northwest corner.
Northwest corner of Chambers and Colfax. And what's the name of the shop?
It's Complete Auto.
Okay.
Complete Truck and Auto.
So, the question is, did they have a right to tow you if
they
you left?
Good work.
How many times did you leave it? How many nights did you?
Just one night. And then I came back the next morning and the car was gone.
Okay.
So I called up the management company to find out what happened, and then they
have a standing tow. They have a standing tow order, I'm sure. If a car stays there more than a certain number of hours, it's towed. How many hours is their policy? Do you know?
I do not know, but I know after 24 hours it can be towed. I guess that's what I looked at. But I guess it's up to the, like, what they considered. What happened was the car got broken into, so they did not call the police. They just had this company come and pick it up and sent it over to the tow company.
Well, they did that to keep it safe. I mean, you know, what would you rather?
No,
it's not their responsibility. It's not their responsibility to call the cops. It's not their responsibility to take care of your property. Bob, it doesn't matter. It's not, Bob, it is not their responsibility, whether it's broken into or not. I'm sorry. It is their responsibility not to harm others or not to leave a dangerous situation, and they took it upon themselves not to leave it open to others because it was broken into. But they don't have to call the cops. There's no requirement for them to report. They don't even know if it was broken into. For all they know, an owner went there and staged it or forgot his keys. Bob.
They broke my window.
Bob, okay, I'm not denying any of this, but they don't. It's not their fault.
It's their responsibility. It's on their property. It's private property.
No,
right?
it's not.
Okay, so if someone broke into your vehicle at Walmart while you're in shopping, is that Walmart's problem?
If they find the car and they tow it, they should be the one calling the police.
No, they shouldn't. But, Bob, we can agree. Listen, it doesn't matter. I don't have to agree with you. It doesn't matter. I mean, pursue your line of whatever you want to do. You're not going to win, okay? If you're going to try, explain something to me. What exactly are you trying to get out of this?
I want my car, but I'm not getting it, so it's getting sold. So.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So you're telling me that they won't give your, how much are they charging once they took it away? What are they charging you?
2 hours after, once I contacted the tow company, it was $260. That was 2 hours after it was towed.
Okay, well, that's about right for the tow and stuff. But here's what I need to know. Did they tow it? And Bob, I know you're upset, but if you give me the right information,
well, we might... Even know. You don't even know, man.
Bob, I don't blame you. You're going to lose your car. I need to know something. Do you think they towed it because of the time or because it was broken into? Do you think if it wasn't broken into that they would have got
towed?
You think so?
It wouldn't have got towed.
Why?
No.
Why?
Why would it? There's nothing wrong with the car. It's not blocking anything. It wasn't leaking.
Well, I don't. I'm asking, Bob. I don't know what their I don't know what their policy is. Is it possible it would have been towed anyway?
No. It was there overnight.
Now tell me what would have changed. It was there overnight. But
why didn't they tow the rest of the cars? Why didn't they tow the rest of the cars?
Well, if there were cars left there overnight, if there were cars... Bob, can I talk? Please, can I talk? Let me finish one sentence, okay? Were there other cars left there 24 hours?
There's cars, yeah, there's cars that were going to be worked on at the auto place, yeah.
Okay, but yours wasn't in the place where the auto repair keeps them, was it?
It was right in that area. It was right there. It was just down a little bit.
Did you ask them? Did you ask them, why did you tow my car and not the others? That's a good question. Did you ask?
I did.
What
yes, I did.
What did they say?
The company, and they said because it was abandoned. I said, abandoned? I just dropped it off last night, and I came back the next morning with the computer so that these guys can program it for me and put it in the car. And yeah.
Okay, so when this thing was broken into...
I finally zoomed in on this picture. Where did you park it? I see it's kind of across from the Napa over there, and it's a standalone building.
Did you park at the standalone building?
I parked right at the side of the standalone building where they park their cars. They park in front, and they park on the side. On the north side, on the west side of it, the building, and they parked on the south side of the building.
So the reason then, so most likely,
and I was parked on the south on the west side.
Most likely they towed it because it was broken into. What was the appearance? Like, how was it broken into? Was there a smash window or
the window? Yeah.
Which side?
It smashed the driver's window. The driver's window. There was glass on the ground, and the management needed.
That's got to be why, because he was definitely, if he was parked where he just explained, they wouldn't have towed it. So it is. It's because there's glass everywhere. Someone broke into it. It looks abandoned.
You're right. I just called to tell you a story. Right?
What do you think? Hey, Bob, what do you think the cops?
Well, why would I tell you I was parked there? Why would I say I was parked there and I wasn't? Like, what?
Nobody's questioning that, Bob.
I didn't say that.
We just said if you were parked there.
It's their place.
It wouldn't get towed.
Bob.
It wouldn't get towed. You're right. If it didn't get broken into.
Bob,
because my car
if you would just shut up long enough to hear what we have to say, we might be able to help you. But you know what? You're just too damn upset. Goodbye, Bob. You know what, Bob? I can't help you. All right? I'm sorry. Goodbye. I mean, for God's sakes, we're trying to make progress here, getting information, and he is hopping all over us. What I was trying to tell the guy is if they did it because it was broken into, because of that and that alone, okay, first of all, they should have gone through a process. I'd like to know what the process is they would have done, okay? But no matter what else would they have done? What else? It would have been towed no matter what, because the cops would have ordered it towed. If they called the cops would have ordered it towed. They don't search through your car to try to find the owner and say, I know what Bob is thinking, and I hope you're listening, Bob. Bob is thinking they would have found me before and said, hey, Bob, you better get over here and tow your car, or get your car before it's towed. I know that's what he's thinking, and it would have saved him the money. I understand that, but you can't fight that because they did nothing wrong, so you can't attack them on that. Am I saying you shouldn't get your car back or you can't be helped? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you're going about the wrong tack. I don't think you can say to them they did something wrong, because if the cops showed up, they would have ordered it towed anyway. I'm wondering, and if Bob would just tell me, we do have plans and we do have help available in some cases. What I want to know is, what does Bob think would have happened differently?
I want to know if they had an open ticket, too.
Can I just ask that damn question? Bob is upset because they did not call the cops. I have one question. What did Bob think should happen, and what would have happened in his mind? Because if he makes sense, maybe we can say they were negligent. I don't know. So, Bob, what do you think should have happened?
I think that they should have called the police, and it would have turned out differently. I wouldn't have had impound keys because it was broken into.
Okay. And how do you think it would have been differently if they called the cops?
Yeah, if they would have called the police and, say it.
What would have happened?
Steal it, obviously.
Bob.
I had an interlock. Yes, sir.
If they showed, okay, if they called police, like you said, and I'm not disagreeing with you, what would have been different? What do you think the police would have done when they got there?
Well, then there would have been a report on it.
Then
what? It would have been actually towed into Aurora, not 25 miles away.
Okay. It would have been towed, though. So you say it would have been cheaper.
Yeah, that's fine.
It would have been cheaper for you.
It would have been a lot. It would have been half cheaper, even if the police charged me. It would have been only.
How much is the bill right now, Bob?
It's a couple thousand now.
Oh my God! A couple. Can we call this impound yard and try to negotiate?
I still don't understand. If he had a ticket, an open ticket with this shop, why wouldn't the shop have called him and said, hey, in the morning the window was broke out?
I've never had any repairs done at the shop. I've had the mechanics look at it and give me some advice.
So you didn't have even a ticket with the shop?
They didn't know he was there.
No, that morning they were going to have the computer and... They were going to...
Bob, how long ago was this? How did it get from 260 to a couple thousand?
No, it's like 1,500 or something.
I know, but how long ago did this happen?
This happened August 29th or something.
Oh, damn. That's a long...
I didn't have the money. I had an interlock.
No, I'm saying you should have called us a lot sooner. Okay, so it happened August 29th. Okay, what about... Let's explore something. Let's explore something. What kind of car is this?
It's a Honda Accord.
What year?
2000.
What is it worth?
It's worth quite a bit because I've replaced everything in it.
Okay. About how much do you think?
I spent a couple thousand.
Okay.
Like being an older car, it's got new tires, new.
Do you think these guys? Did you try to negotiate with them at all?
I did. They wouldn't even let me go to my vehicle.
Well,
they wouldn't even let me get my tools out of my car for work.
They wouldn't let, not even your tools.
No, they wouldn't even let me go to the car. So I had to get a Denver officer to meet me in Denver. So
I feel sorry for this guy. Hold on, Bob. I know why he's upset. This thing sucks. But
he let it snowball so long.
Why did it go 25 miles away? Listen, is there a way? Can we just try to negotiate with this shop? I mean, try and see what happens. I mean, you know it doesn't cost him every day that car is there. That, you know, listen, I'm all for storage.
Well, ask him how much he has so I have some idea of, say, will you take
Bob,
this?
How much do you have to get your car out reasonably?
Well, what happened was I paid, because I had a DUI a couple of years ago. I had an interlock system put in by Smart Start.
Oh, no, yeah.
And I paid $700, so this is getting more to the end of the story here, what's happening. I paid him $700 just a week before this happened. So I depleted the little bit of funds.
So you don't really have any money, right, Bob? Do you have a job, Bob?
No, I don't.
Do you have a job?
I had two jobs at the time. I lost them because I...
God almighty, did this thing snowball. People, spread the word about us. Don't wait. I mean, God, this would have been so easy to take care of way back then. Oh, hold on, Bob. Let's see if we can come up with some ideas, all right? He has no money. He lost his job. Look at, you know, I know...
He also lost his interlock. If he even had another car, he'd have to have all those expenses again.
You know, it may sound silly to people, but this is a story about how someone becomes homeless. I swear to God. We just saw it. One little mistake wasn't even his... The break-in wasn't his fault. But one mistake of leaving his car, he gets a break-in. Then they impound his car. Then he gets storage fees. Then his interlock is locked with it. And his tools. And he loses his job. I swear to God, this one incident could be why Bob ends up homeless. This one incident. So, listen, man, I can see why he's upset. I'm not sure what we can do, but for God's sakes, we're going to try something. We'll try something, okay? That's what I can tell you. 303-713-TALK. And I want to talk about window wells. That's what we commonly call them. The big holes with a window so you can get in and out of your basement. You know, they're not just a good idea. You have to have them to include that square footage or to use bedrooms or to use certain living spaces. Denver Egress Window will put in brand new ones where none exist. You can literally punch through a foundation and open up that square footage underneath. Here's the other thing. They can rebuild the ones builders put in with that ugly corrugated metal. They can make them beautiful with their composite material. They can also do walkout basements. You say, wait a minute, I don't have a sloping lot. Doesn't matter. They can literally dig down, terrace a patio area, and make a walkout basement. So rather than sell and buy something even more expensive, maybe it's more cost-effective to do that. Listen, check him out, DenverEgressWindow.com. That's the website. You can also find him on my referral list at referralist.com. Now, it's DenverEgressWindow.com, 720-626-4221, 720-626-4221.
This report is sponsored by CC's.
He doesn't have a job. He doesn't have shit. All he's got to do is, I don't know where he lives, but I bet there's a fucking McDonald's near there he can work at.
Yeah, but man alive, did his life go to shit over one
Well, and I bet it started with the DUI and all the money you got to pour into that.
He's going to hold for that.
Jesus. Don't you, I know the guy's just bad luck.
Well, what killed me, though, is he doesn't have a job now.
No, but he lost it. You know, a lot of employers aren't very sympathetic. Fuck you, you lost your job, you don't have your tools, get lost. I mean, what?
Or you can't get here.
There isn't a place in the world not hiring, is all I'm saying. Who the fuck's not hiring?
Dash in that little leather thing? The ticket from.
No, I just didn't want you to have to.
Anyway, so will Thursday work then? You think, Mark? You want to do that? A late lunch with Dan?
Maybe. Does it have to be Dan?
let's take someone else to lunch for Dan's birthday.
FBIjobs.gov.
We can help you answer questions.
FBI job.
FBI is hiring left and right. I've been hearing commercials for them.
Really?
Serious.
Really?
Where do you want to go for lunch?
Wherever you guys go.
No, it's your birthday lunch. Where do you want to go for lunch?
Del Taco it is.
Here's lunch, Dan.
I used that
Smart.
last night. I got a guy in fantasy. Yeah, I was going to bring you to Taco John.
Is that even around?
I don't know.
Taco John?
Yeah, it used to be a franchise, I thought.
Yeah, well, they got it back home. They don't have them here and stuff at the...
We could go to that, where we just got a gift card to that Bad Daddy Burger place.
Which one's that?
Right in Landmark.
Bad Daddy. Oh, they got that wild-ass bacon. That deep-fried.
Ooh.
Did you ever try that?
Oh, you talking about Craven?
No, right here, the burger place in Landmark. Bad Daddy's or something. Big
It's
Daddy's.
got deep-fried bacon.
Yeah.
They serve it as like its own
Brace yourself.
dish.
Oh, yes. I was there with you.
We went over there once. Yeah, twice, yeah.
Last Christmas, when we had Dave Haglund and everybody.
That's right.
I didn't think it was that.
Wasn't like.
I don't think it was that great.
I didn't think it was overly
The
great.
deep-fried bacon, yeah. It's over the top.
Well, let's bring them the King Super's Deli.
I love King Super's Deli.
The fried chicken?
I love it.
Their fried chicken is good. Unless it's, you know what I do? I haven't ordered it forever, but I always tell them to put some in for me. Fresh.
Oh, okay.
Fry that up for me.
No, I think that's the best fried chicken. I think
Good old KFC's pretty damn good, man.
the crispy stuff, but the other stuff is so greasy.
It is greasy, but it's good. I haven't had KFC staying that for 5 years. I'll tell you, the best chicken sandwich out there, and I never eat them, but man, are they delicious. They're closed on Sunday.
Oh, of course. We get the little sliders. Chick-fil-A. Boy,
Man, can they put together a chicken sandwich?
Hi, Tom Martino, Plumline Services for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, and free second opinions. Listen, things are crazy. You're going to be told you need a furnace or a water heater or something. Plumline Services will do a free second opinion. PlumlineServices.com. These are people that have been around for years. You know them and trust them. And their number is 303-586-1086. No call charge, nothing. If you're told you need a furnace, you got a proposal, they may say, hey, you got a great job. You got a great deal. If they can't beat it, they can't beat it. If they can, what's the harm? And at least they'll tell you if the guy's telling the truth or not. 303-586-1086, PlumlineServices.com. So, does anyone have an idea for Bob? I mean, this is Bob. If you're just tuning in, you know, he parks. He leaves his car overnight. It's getting apart. And the next day it's broken into, or sometime during the night or whatever, it's towed. He knows nothing about it till he goes back there and doesn't find his car. And then it starts at $260 once it gets there. And then it goes up. It's now at $1,500 something dollars. He doesn't have the money. As a result, he lost his tools. He lost his job. I mean, this is like a narration of how someone's life was changed. But then, like Mark said, look, he had an interlock, and that's, you know, a lot of money. Even if he gets another car, how is he going to get that? And then the other thing is, you know, maybe it started when he was drinking and needed an interlock. Who knows? But you see how a series of little events can add up to a problem, a big, big problem. You know, I guess it's never just one event, but, man, there's an expression we have of falling off the cliff, meaning that, you know, you paint us a scenario we can't always help. But sometimes we can. This 260, we would have been able to help him immediately, especially to keep his job. But, you know, this is getting to a point where, geez, I don't know what's going to happen. I feel so bad for the guy, but, you know, other people may not. John, what do you think? You called in? Go ahead, John.
It's Sean.
Sean, sorry. Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead, Sean.
That's okay. Hey, what he needs to do is he needs to find out if there was, if it was clearly marked.
Oh, you're right. You're right about that. They have to have a sign.
They do, and it has to be clearly visible. It can't be posted on one side of the other parking lot where he's not parking. It has to be clearly visible. So,
That's a good point.
Whoever authorized that car to be towed could also be liable for that.
And they have a standing rule.
Okay, let's talk reality though. Let's talk reality. There's no signs there. Now what?
It has to be there longer than 24 hours.
So once again though,
if there's no clear signs up.
Wait a minute.
It has to be there longer than 24 hours. Then after that, they can call the towing company and have it removed.
Oh wait, even without a sign.
Yes.
Oh, are you in the business, Sean?
I used to be.
All right, hold on. So, Bob, they only need a sign if they're going to tow it before 24 hours, he said. After 24 hours, they can tow it. Do you know if it was 24 hours or not?
Yeah, it was under 24 hours. And also, too, the signage that they had posted was, all it said was no overnight truck parking, meaning like semis, like how they park at Walmart. That's the only signage. That's the only signage they had. And on the storefront, it said something about trespassing on the store property, but not the parking lot.
Like Mark said, said, now what? In other words, what do we do about it? Because let's say we make the argument that Bob should not have been towed. What do we do about it? It's going to take some time because, what do we do, Mark? It has to be small claims court or something, or we call the shop. But who gave the order to tow? Do you know?
Yes, the management company.
What's the name of the management company? What's the name?
It's Friend and I know it's Friends. It's I got to look it up.
What we ought to do...
I got it written down.
We ought to try calling Mark. What if you called the management company and challenged the tow to begin with because of the signage, Mark? What about that? Are you looking at it?
Yeah, I'm looking around the parking lot.
Hold on a second.
Also,
yeah?
The signage said M&M Towing, not the company that came and got me.
Wait. The signage. You just said the signage was... You didn't say there was signage. Oh...
No, the signage that it was up, it said that no
you didn't mention towing. You just said overnight parking. What exactly?
Yeah.
I want to know the sign where M&M Towing is mentioned. What does it say?
It says no overnight truck parking.
Or what?
Will be towed by M&M Towing.
Okay. All right. Dennis, what is your question on Bob?
Who towed the car?
The management company had it towed, he said.
Right.
What's the company?
I'm sorry?
You want to know the company, Dennis?
Yeah, the tow company. Who towed it?
Bob, who's the towing company?
APT.
Okay,
APT.
There's a lot of signs around this parking lot. I can't read them, but there's a lot of them.
APT is a really hard company to work with.
Oh.
They should at least allow him to go to his car and get his stuff out of it, as long as he can.
I think he eventually did.
He eventually. Did you eventually get your stuff, Bob?
No, I didn't. I am not allowed to go to the vehicle.
I thought you said you got a police officer.
I had a police officer, and he went and took some pictures for me, but the lady at the tow company would not let me into the yard to go to my vehicle.
See, and that's bogus, because if he can show proof of ownership of that car, they can allow him to go get his stuff out of the car.
Are you sure of that, Dennis?
Public Utilities Commission and report them. Yes, I'm positive.
I already called. I called the Utilities Commission, and they said I have to take them to small claims court.
What did you bring in for proof of ownership?
I brought in the ownership. I brought in the insurance papers. I brought in the...
why do towing companies have to be such hard asses, though? Seriously. I mean, honest to God, they're the worst companies to deal with. The guy just wanted his tools. That just seems so damn... You know what? I mean, if we slap something on these guys, maybe they do deserve to go to court. I mean... Why the hell would they do that? I think we ought to call this tow company and just find out why wouldn't they let him get his tools. Go ahead, Suzanne.
I had an email question about it. Does Bob have insurance, and if car was vandalized, won't his insurance cover it?
Well, I don't know. Bob, they're not going to cover all this towing and stuff. Bob, will they cover...
No.
You don't have insurance or what?
No, at the time, the car was parked for 6 months. I didn't drive it from February till August. And just that week, I paid to get my interlock done.
Hold on.
And then the car wasn't running.
All right,
so we
hold on,
there to get
Bob.
fixed.
Bob.
Yes, sir. Yes.
But was it registered? Did you have a current license plate?
Yeah, there was plates on it.
No, did not ask if it had plates. I asked if it had current plates, the sticker current, because that's another sign of abandonment. Did it have current stickers?
No.
Okay.
It had a couple months before because it was sitting parked, and now it was brought to the garage to get fixed.
I know. I'm not looking, Bob. I'm not trying to convict you here, but I just need to know the real deal. It was expired plates sitting on a lot with a broken window on the passenger side. So it's a lot different than just a parked car, Bob. It's a lot different. I mean, listen, man, I know you're trying to paint the best possible picture, but for all intents and purposes, it did look abandoned. It did. And now we got to think, is it even wise to get the damn car, or do you just try to move on? And then what happens to the interlock stuff? Bob, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, Bob, how are you affording to live right now?
I got another job, and I'm
good.
Getting by. I had to take the bus for
good. I mean, at least you're not sitting on your ass. That's good. I'm serious, Bob. I mean, that shows something. If anybody has any ideas, let us know, all right? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. You'll never find anyone better to represent you if you need to buy or sell real estate. It's just a fact. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
This is Denver's talk station, 630 K.
Personally, you just can't take like a stereo out or anything like that.
No, but he can get his personal stuff, though, right?
No, I don't know why. These cops are terrible.
Or what? Is this like a nightmare?
What did the cops do?
They said you've got to take him to small claims court.
Well, you're also going off of what he said.
That's exactly
I
right.
have never remembered.
Mark, that's exactly right.
They let you go get your personal items. They're not going to risk their PUC license. He probably didn't have proof it was his vehicle.
There are 7.1 million job openings, according to the JOLTS report.
I would like to know what is proof of the vehicle. If you walk in there with an expired registration, is that
That's
proof?
a problem. That is another problem. The guy was just a fucking disaster.
Well, no, here's another thing.
And he actually said to you, too, he lost 2 jobs. I didn't think he was working. Then at the end, he said he had a job.
Well, you got to get another one. You lost all of them. You got to get
I'm happy he got another job. The guy didn't sit on his ass.
So what you tell me? What's a proof of ownership for a car if the bank has a title? You don't have a title. You got your, I guess your registration.
Who's our tow guy? Is it Martin?
Most banks offer and saying
Cassan?
Yeah.
Capital One is building
Yeah,
savings
it is
better.
Martin.
You can open a Capital
It
One
was
savings
Martin, I
account with
think.
one of the nation's best savings rates.
Routine.
From anywhere. Like here. Or here. One of the nation's best savings rates.
I'm just curious what proof is.
One location or from anywhere. That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Okay, this is it.
Could you go in the glove box and say, okay, here it is?
Capital One. This report is brought to you by Farmers Insurance. We are Farmers.
It says APT. What's the total?
Oh, I'll just call them APT.
Yeah.
Delays on westbound I-70 in the
Is that the one?
Operations of 270 slow either side of Vasquez. Otherwise, the freeway system in fairly decent shape. On the north end, seeing a
It's funny. I don't care what tow company it is. There's never good ratings. Who would ever spend their time to go onto Yelp and leave nothing good ever comes out of a tow? Unless you got a classic car or something weird.
Well, kind of.
And you hire him to do something for you.
I mean, towing after an accident. I don't have to lie.
traffic and weather.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's after an accident. It's traumatic. Hello? Hey, what is proof of ownership? If I need to come down and grab my car, what do I got to bring? Or grab my personal items out of the car? Registration with my name, can it be out of date, or does it got to be current?
Like if your plates were expired.
Well, because it was out of date because I didn't renew it. I didn't have money to renew it.
No, you guys towed it out of a parking lot. The King Soopers parking lot. It was a 2000 Honda. But none of that really matters. I can't afford to get it out, but I just want my personal stuff, and you guys told me I couldn't get it. So what do I need to bring down to get my personal stuff?
We're going to go on the air, Mark.
Oh, I can't.
So, Deputy Dan got his pellets, didn't you?
I did.
Now,
like 5 days ago.
5 days ago. So usually a week or two before you really even really feel anything. And
I'm waiting.
The HormoneBros.com, they Revitalize Health. They're good people. What was your testosterone number? Do you remember? 600. Oh, it wasn't that bad. No. Really?
Well, I guess not.
No, it wasn't that bad. I mean, people would say that's normal for your age, but that's the point. Also normal for your age are a lot of things that you don't want, right? Back pains and all that. I mean, the point is that Revitalize Health optimizes. They don't just replace. They optimize hormones based on BioT standards. They also do other stuff like Juvederm, Botox and other stuff, fillers. And then they do a natural collagen stimulation with needling that gives you permanent collagen back in your face. Just look them up. They're at like Ken Carl 470, thehormonebros.com. 3 brothers. It's a great clinic, a lot of fun, and they do BioT. Thehormonebros.com. And listen,
I think I should play this back. This is incredible. I don't know what the rules are, but we've been told that you're allowed to get your stuff, right?
Yeah.
They're saying outright, no way, Jose.
You're not getting...
Bring us a title and sign it over, and maybe we'll give you your stuff back. I said, how about my work tools? No way, Jose. I don't know what the real rules are, though.
And we're talking about Bob, who had his car towed by APT. He had his car towed.
I'm going to cue it up.
Now, listen, and whether or not they had a right to tow that, let's just say they did. But the point is that they did it, and then, charged him all these fees. But the biggest deal, he wanted to keep his jobs, and he wanted to get his tools, and they wouldn't let him. I don't know, man. We got to get more information on this. And Bob, I don't know if we can help you, but by God, at least you're fighting back. You're getting another job. I hope you don't need winkandwink.com. I'm serious, by the way. But you may. They're bankruptcy attorneys. And Ben has a comment. Go ahead, Ben. What's going on?
Hey, Tom, if I understand correctly, I was with him all the way until you brought up the fact that he had expired license plates.
Yeah, but he couldn't afford to get it done right away, so I don't know. Does that mean he should have all this havoc or what?
No, he should absolutely be able to get his tools back. There's no question about that.
But
again, if you're in law enforcement and you're looking at a car that's expired plate in a broken window,
I know.
They would tow it.
They would have towed it anyway. His argument was they would have towed it to a closer place. Who knows about that? All I know is I don't think it was illegally towed, in my opinion, but I don't like the way these guys are responding to Mark when he asked about getting his personal belongings.
Listen to what they said about this.
Now, he's playing his cell phone back on speaker. Go ahead.
This is what is it?
APT. Go ahead. APT. Go ahead. Turn it up.
No, you guys towed it out of a parking lot.
Good, Mark.
A King Soopers parking lot.
What kind of car?
It's a 2000 Honda. But none of that really matters. I can't afford to get it out, but I just want my personal stuff, and you guys told me I couldn't get it. So what do I need to bring down to get my personal stuff?
You can't. You have to pick up the car or forget it.
Oh, I can't grab personal. I thought the PUC
let's
said
call,
I could grab
let's call the public.
Stuff out of it. No? Hello? Listen to this.
No, you can't.
All right, so I got to pay
You
for
have
it.
the title for it?
Yeah, does that mean I can get my personal stuff, though?
Well, if you're going to sign it over to us, I can ask them.
Oh, I see what you're saying, if I sign it over. Dang it. Okay, but I can't just come get my personal stuff without paying you the bills.
Uh-huh.
How about, like, my tools? Can I at least get my tools?
Nothing.
Okay.
All right, bye. We got to figure out what the real scoop is.
We're going to call the PUC. I'm also going to call, Mark, you should call the management company and threaten them, because if they're using, listen, if they're using this tow company, they're responsible for a lot of this stuff. And you tell that management company, if they don't help him get his car back, we're going after him. Why don't you let's just start using some big guns,
unless if there's an issue with not allowing him to get his stuff back. I don't know what anybody did wrong yet.
That's right. That's the only issue. And I'm not sure, we're going by what somebody told us, that he should be allowed to get his stuff. Listen, I didn't mean for everyone to have to wait on this, but this is kind of a guy's life falling apart. So let's go back to Robert. Not back to him, but take Robert. Robert, I'm so sorry for the wait. Robert, what's happening? But by the way, Mark, I do mean about if they were wrong, we threaten the management company. Robert, what's happening?
Well, I went in, we have T-Mobile phone service, and we've had it for like 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
15 years ago, we lived in Loveland, Colorado.
Yes,
I went in to pay my bill, and I looked on the bill,
This is
and they're charging
15 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're charging me taxes and everything from when we lived in Loveland. And they're still charging, and now they're charging us Fort Collins taxes too.
Are they more? Are those taxes more than you would pay where you live now?
Similar, but the thing is, we've been paid them about $800 that we shouldn't have paid them because they've been taken out.
No, then they should refund it. The problem is, how far can you go back? I personally don't think you can go back more than 6 years, but that's my personal opinion, not a legal one. And the only reason I say that is for collection of debt. There's a statute of limitations of 6 years, and that might apply. I don't know that, but we can find out. So when you ask for a refund, first of all, did you notify them when you moved?
Well, we no.
Well, then how are they supposed to know, Robert?
Well, because we've gone in there. Well, we've gone in there and done changes of address and stuff.
Well, okay. Well, that's what I mean, Robert. If you changed your address with them, so your original address, they were charging you the correct taxes, right?
Right.
And then how long ago did you change address?
It's been, well, we've changed it probably 3 or 4 different times, and this last time was just...
now, this is a good one, Deputy Dan. We should find out how cell phones work. I never thought of that. Where do you pay tax? And when you change addresses, do they automatically, when your billing changes, do they automatically change the tax? You know, this is a good question. Robert, I've never had this come up before that I recall. So,
right. Well,
hold on. Let's mark this as a follow-up, and let Suzanne look in, excuse me, Suzanne, get your information, and I want Deputy Dan to look into this.
I'm looking at the Colorado Code of Regulations when you want to know what the deal is on this.
All right, by the way, we'll do that after the break. Winkandwink.com, I mentioned for that guy, and I wasn't kidding. 303-410-1720. I also want to tell you about One Clear Choice Garage Doors, the place to go for your garage door needs, all of them. Whether it's a broken spring, you can't get it open, or you want to get a brand new opener or a brand new door, they do everything from top to bottom, including free inspections for Martino listeners only, and they do minor adjustments and lubrications with that. 303-565-6409, OneClearChoiceDoors.com.
This report is sponsored by CC.
Oh, no.
It's good for his car, but what about his personal property?
No, the only thing they have to relinquish, credit cards, cash.
Right. Credit cards or cash, right.
A way to pay. Prescription medications, medical equipment, medical devices, child restraint systems like a car, chair, whatever. That's about it, bro.
Were you getting this from the PUC or?
Yeah, this is the Code of Colorado Regulations, towing rules.
Traffic and weather. 6:30. K-How. CC Steak Meat Eater and Supreme Endless Pan Pizzas.
That's it. Limited time. Unless something's wrong here. I mean, this one's even updated 2017.
Only at CC's.
Towing carrier rules of the Rules and Regulation of Transportation by Motor Vehicle State of Colorado, effective July 15th, 2017. Public Utilities Commission. So you can't get shit out unless you pay for it. So you pay all the fees they owe you, then you can get your shit.
I still don't. Well, when they did this, why did they say personal property without radios or? Because they're right. I mean, you could have stuff in there that's your job. And why is medical equipment in there?
Well, the answer would be you shouldn't have illegally parked and got it towed.
No, you're right. But that's the awful thing. You wasn't illegally parked. His was, but
yeah, it was.
His was, but I mean, put another situation.
Well, that's a whole different issue then. I mean, then they're breaking the rules by towing something they shouldn't. No, I keep him just for a minute. He's screwed. One time I got my car towed in my apartment when I had the transmission out. And I took my step van and I wrote on the side of it, Vector Properties had managed Sugarberry Apartments are a bunch of thieves and liars. And every time they would drive people around in their little golf cart, I'd fucking run up to them. They had my car back and deducted every cent it cost me from the next rent due.
Your 401ks, your IRAs, your rental properties, and your brokerage accounts. When you know what's coming in this month, next month,
and I had the entire transmission laying out.
Retire happy. Retire with Tucker.
So people coming out because they wanted people they were showing people the property.
Yeah, they drive around in the golf cart. So on the side of my huge step van, it said that. And then on Saturday, they took it on a Friday, so all day Saturday and Sunday, while they were driving by on the golf carts, I'd be screaming and warning people, don't move in here, it's crazy. They just tow vehicles for no reason.
And they didn't say.
And then right on my, look at this guy, he's got a problem too. Look at his step van. Of course, it was mine. It's not just me.
I could probably show you 5 others.
Is this us? All right, 303-713-8255.
Thomas is running back. He'll be here in a second. This does not look good for this poor guy in the PUC. Here's what I'm reading, Dan. Check this out. It says they have to release, and I think Bob's still listening, if your vehicle gets towed. He was illegally parked. They towed the vehicle. They have to let out, they have to release to you, soon as you demand it during business hours, cash credit cards, which makes sense. That way you could pay to get your vehicle out. They also have to give you prescription medications. I wonder if that includes marijuana. I wonder if you had a prescription for dope and dope in the car, if they have to give you that back. But prescription medication, medical equipment, and let's see, a child seat. Man, there's not much else on here. I mean, that's about it. That's what they have to give you back without paying. So I guess this company, who was it again? ACL?
APT.
APT. I guess technically they're not breaking any rules.
Jeez, what a bad
At least
deal.
any regulations that I'm reading about. Well, you've had vehicles towed before. Didn't your kid go through one? Seriously.
Yeah.
After an accident,
right.
It cost you a fortune.
Yeah. This is like, say, it was $200.
So it's not good, Tom. I just read this.
Turns out, though, he can't...
No, it's medical equipment.
Only?
Well,
How
no,
about tools?
Cash, credit cards, medical equipment, and car seats, child seats.
It actually specifies what he is allowed to get.
Without paying and getting it, yes.
Holy crap.
So his tools, his personal items, no way. So that's that.
Now, on T-Mobile, we are going to work on that for you. Suzanne, who should I take here? Or did she hang up the other call?
She's there on 3, Tom.
Okay. What's her name?
Melissa.
Melissa, hi. Sorry for the wait. What's going on, Melissa?
Hi. So basically my house is in foreclosure, and I was trying to find a way to cure the loan, and...
You heard me talk about Wink and Wink, didn't you? Heard me talk about Wink and Wink, bankruptcy attorneys. Chapter 13 will stop a foreclosure in its tracks to give you time to at least come up with a plan if you can, but if not, at least it gives you some breathing room. Where are you in the foreclosure process?
Okay, so basically I am they're trying to modify my loan right now.
Well, don't go. Wait. How far behind are you in payments?
10 months.
10.
Just go right to the equity question.
Wait a minute. 10 months?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, but see, they gave me a forbearance modification these last 6 months.
Okay, what did you sign? You signed something?
Well, I believe somebody had me without my real knowledge. I mean,
Well, if you signed it, you can't say it's without your knowledge. What happened?
Well, she tried to pull the wool over my eyes, basically, in the first place we went, because she's been trying to help me.
Okay, so you didn't let her. You didn't let her. You didn't sign anything. Is that right?
I believe I signed, I think she had me sign a, what was it called? A
quitclaim deed.
Oh, well, you're done. You don't even own it. When did you sign a quitclaim?
I think it was last Friday. I just got off the phone with my bank.
How much equity do you have in this home?
$200,000.
Of equity?
Yeah.
Wait, who is this person that had you sign a quitclaim deed?
Well, she was supposed to be a friend of mine that was trying to help me.
Was she a friend first, or did you go to her and she became your friend?
No, she was. I mean, I've only known her for like a year, but.
But I mean, did you get to know her?
She was a friend at all.
Did you get to know her because? Did you get to know her because of this?
No.
Oh, okay. So what did she say she was going to do for you?
She told me that she was going to help me out to pay the rears. Okay.
How much in the rears? How much in the rears do you owe?
All together with court costs and stuff, $12,000.
Okay, and you have $200,000 in equity. That's no bull.
Yeah.
So what?
She doesn't, because she doesn't own it.
What does she say about this quitclaim deed right now? What does she say about it?
She has told me nothing. Even when I was
we need to call her
for work and all this other stuff. I don't have any copies of anything. She won't tell me any solid answers now.
You need, listen, Melissa, you need to get an O&E done on your property to find out who owns it right now, to see if she recorded that.
Well, she didn't, because I just got off the phone with the assessor's office. I've also just talked to my bank. They're still trying to get the loan modified.
Well, it doesn't matter. Melissa, you have to understand something that's going to shock you. You are going to be on the hook for a loan without a house.
Oh, shit.
Okay, I got it. But now, I don't want to hang up on her.
Oh, please don't.
Hold on. Hold on. I just hit the delay, Melissa, because you said the SH word. I want to help, but I don't know what I can do unless we, Mark, when I said scare the hell out of people, I mean, in some ways, we have attorneys, we have power, we can at least make life miserable for people trying to cheat. I mean, what excuse would this friend have for getting a quitclaim deed? What would it be?
Loaning her money?
Okay, well, loan her money then, right? I mean, in other words...
I don't know. I'm trying to come up with stuff.
In other words, if we talk to this woman, and no one can talk to her better than us, or you particularly, if we say, okay, look, it doesn't take a genius to figure out something happened here. Why did you do a quitclaim deed? How is this going to help her? I mean, will the woman come right out and say, well, I tricked her out of her house? I mean, and if she does, then we're a witness to fraud. What I'm getting at is, on stuff like this, egregious things like this, we just have to help. I mean, we just have to help. Now, I'm wondering, like with the tow thing, okay, that's another issue, but they didn't do anything technically wrong. Nothing. This guy basically waited too long. He has lost everything. Everything. I mean, people, this is just unbelievable. We could reach out to the management company.
I wonder if we could get Frank involved and see if she owns it.
This one now.
If she does own it, let's get the house up for sale. Short sale it.
And then give the friend money for her effort if she did anything.
If she did anything.
Melissa, what did she do for you, if anything? Anything at all?
No, she basically just flat out sold my house. She actually has
wait! You never mentioned that. Did she sell your house?
No, but she won't give me a solid answer to it, and if she quitclaimed it, then I guess she owes it.
No, but what did you mean she sold your house? What do you mean?
Well, okay, maybe I said it wrong. I'm just kind of in a
Did you mean sell, or did you say she stole my house?
I said stole. Is what I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
She said sold.
Well,
yeah.
What do you mean by that, though? Just answer that.
Okay, the thing of it is that she wanted $250,000 house, okay, which is $250. The bank just said it was worth $300,000, and I only owe $105 on it, plus the rears makes it $115. So she's telling me that she needs my $250,000 house as a collateral for $25,000 that she's going to.
But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. If she wants to do a loan, Mark. Can you talk to this woman?
Did you get the money?
Just hold on, all right? Just hold on. It could be she really... There's nothing wrong with her wanting to be over-collateralized. Nothing wrong at all if she loans you that much money. And she's banking on the fact you might not pay.
It's never been easier to get rewarded at Isle Casino.
We want to get a hold of Melissa.
You know,
get her number.
I can already tell you this whole thing's wacko.
Yeah, but you don't quit claim it, right? You don't quit claim it for a $25,000 loan.
No, first of all, you don't. And second of all, you lean it. So she already has the house. So
here's what I think happened.
She could have gotten a quick claim deed. Wait a minute, because I did this one time.
I think she gave her 25 grand and she quit claimed it.
I got a quick claim deed one time and did not file it. I kept it instead of a foreclosure.
Could you
and I loaned the money.
I think she gave her the house.
I loaned money to a guy, took a quick claim, and then I said, look, I'm not going through a foreclosure. If you don't pay me...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Don't you got to have a notary when you quit claim?
On a deed?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
You got to file it.
You don't need a notary.
Okay.
Here's what happened, though. I think it's going to come down to this. She sold her house to this lady for 25 grand. But she didn't really sell it for 25 grand. She sold it for whatever the banks owed, plus 25 grand. Because the lady that bought it's going to have to cure the first.